these are the moments that really define your season, really define the type of players that you have. And
we've got to beat you. We have to come here and do something that we haven't done in a very, very long time.
All comes down to this one, man. This literally could decide the Premier League, and I think it probably will.
For us, we've got to try and find some way of stopping De Bruyne.
Martinelli for me is the one. He's a real special player. I love Martinelli. You know, it's going to be a packed house, it's going to be loud, it's going to be ready, and you're hoping that the players are going to come out there and deliver.
If we're going to be the champions of this country, we got to come here and take it from you. I don't think we're going to lose this game. Robbie here from AFTV. I'm here in Manchester on enemy territory here at the Etihad Stadium with my man Lewis here from City Extra, big Man City YouTube channel. Just before we get started, don't forget, exclusively live on BT Sport 1, you'll be able to watch this game, Manchester City versus Arsenal. A lot of people are saying this is the title decider. Certainly the game that's really going to define who wins the title this season. It's absolutely massive. So don't forget, check it out on BT Sport 1, exclusively live.
Big game.
It's massive.
It's what football's all about, man. You know, you go through the season, you play so many games, you have so many ups and downs. At one point in the season, you're probably thinking it's your title, you're probably running away with it. Next week, you can be thinking, shit, you know what I mean, what's going on here? All comes down to this one, man. This literally could decide the Premier League, and I think it probably will.
You think it probably will? This will be the decider?
I think so. I think if City go on to win this game, with the 2 games in hand, and look at our fixtures coming up after that, and yours especially, I think City have won it. I think if Arsenal win it, there is still a glimmer of hope, I think, for City, just because we've got the easier fixtures. But I think it'll be very tough. And I think if you win that game, I mean, it would then be a massive, massive bottle job if you didn't win the league.
You do look with this bottle job. You know what? All these Man City fans who keep coming with this talk about bottle job, I've got a question to ask you then. When you sort of let it slip in the chat, like last year in the Champions League, did you bottle it?
Yeah, we bottled it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. As long as you admit that.
I'm a little bit of a stalker on the DR Sports, and I saw the guys giving you a tough time. And yeah, you know, it's what it is. But you know, it shows mentality. It shows you got to get through these, and you know, whether or not Arsenal win the league this season, you'll be better for whatever happens. You know, if you lose it, you win it, you'll obviously go on to improve from here. But these are the moments that really define your season, really define the type of players that you have. And you know, last 3 games now without a win for Arsenal. The pressure's on. The pressure is on. But I'd argue, Robbie, that there's probably no better game for Arsenal right now.
Yeah, you can.
You've got to just get back on it. Well, the thing is,
well, you're right. You're right in a way.
Southampton after West Ham was that, and you didn't do it there. I think you need a test. The players need to go out there and thinking it's do or die, rather than going out there thinking, oh, this should be easy. We can beat these 5-0. And
yeah, you know what? You've got to shout in that, because I was saying the other day that it's almost that mentality sometimes that when you know you've got a plan B, and we've kind of had that for a long time, that we've had that plan B, we've had that little buffer that, you know, we've been points ahead of you with games in hand, etc. That's all gone now. That's all gone. It now comes down to we've got to beat you. We have to come here and do something that we haven't done in a very, very long time. And we have to come and beat you. And I do believe that we do have a team that can beat you. I do believe, you know what I mean, that Manchester City can be beaten, and that's despite, you know, it seems ridiculous to say because you guys have been on this amazing run, but amazing runs can come to an end. Yeah, no, you're spot on, and ultimately for you, you've got to believe that you can come here and win. Exactly.
Because if you don't believe that, then there's no point in turning up. The City players, I'm sure, will believe that they can win this game, and we've got an incredible record. I was checking the record this morning.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I mean, even in, you know, the last 10 years or whatever, you know, with the ups and downs that you've had with Wenger, and, I mean, you still had a quality side there, you know what I mean? And it's unbelievable, the record that we've got against you. And
but I think this is the best team that we've had for a very long time that will be coming here. So
I agree.
That's what gives me a lot of belief, because I've come up here in the past, and if I'm being honest, I'm like, no chance. When I look at your team and I look at our team, I'm like, we need something, we need you to capitulate in some way, or maybe a bit of luck, and listen, we still need a bit of that this week, because this has been such a fortress for you, but I do believe we have the players that can hurt you on the day.
Yeah, you do.
Just like you have the players that can hurt us, obviously.
Well, exactly. And you've seen in the FA Cup game against Sheffield United, Pep Guardiola did a really good job of resting players, key players. Look at Ruben Diaz, who's pretty much not missed a game since he's come back from his injury, rested. Haaland played 60 minutes. Kevin De Bruyne didn't get on the pitch. So, we'll be coming here fresh. We'll be coming here ready. We're fighting on all fronts, which I've said for a number of months now is the way to go, rather than playing a game every week. I don't think that's healthy when you're in a title race, just because you're thinking about it. But Erling Haaland right now, he's going to be so up for this. The guy's just so pumped. He wants this Premier League, doesn't he? He wants the Premier League, he wants the Champions League, he wants it all.
There might be a player that might be missing for you that I think gives us a little chink as well, which is a player I was really impressed with last time. You were talking to me about him when we had the previous game.
Yeah, I did.
And that was Nathan Ake. And I felt that he done a job on Saka.
Yeah.
Now, if he's missing for this game, and I know you can bring in Laporte, and he's still a top player that you're bringing in, but not as good as Ake, in my opinion, in that position.
I agree.
And Saka in the last game against Southampton, he sort of dropped off the previous game, Liverpool, and also versus West Ham, maybe not at his best. But I thought the second half, he was a real threat in that game against Southampton. He scored, he had an assist again. And if we can get him going, with Martinelli going down the other side, we could pose you some real problems. Yeah, you can. Especially without Ake.
You can, and yeah, you're right to say that, because the last time we done a preview, I mentioned Ake, and I got a few strange looks, I can't lie, from some of the lads around the table. But Nathan Ake's been our best defender this year, and in my opinion, he's been probably the best defender in the league for consistency. Do
you think you'll make it back for the? It did look like a muscle injury, didn't it?
I don't think so. It's a hamstring injury, innit? So it's. But you know what? It was funny, right? Because you're talking about Saliba and maybe throwing him in. With Ake, I'd love to throw him in, but because we've still got big games, we've still got Champions League, Real Madrid, we can't afford to throw him in. So unless he's fit, you can't throw it. And you are right to mention Laporte. Laporte's a fantastic player, but I think when he goes out to them wider areas, he's not. Ake's got more agility about him, and I just think he's more comfortable over there. So yeah, we've not really seen Saka do anything at City this year, but if Ake's not fit, then it'll be interesting to see him go up against Laporte. But that's if he does that. There are other options, of course. He could play maybe Walker. I don't know, obviously Pep Guardiola's got to come up with a solution here, but it's not looking like that Ake's going to make it.
Yeah, now listen, as you said, for us, we've got to try and find some way of stopping De Bruyne. For me, as good as Haaland's been, it's him that makes Haaland tick, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the thing is with Haaland, right? He's not like a Harry Kane type player where he's going to drop in and load to. He will do that now and again, but that's not his game. Old school. Get in the box and get the ball into him. Now, if you look at sort of games this season where he's not scored, because we've not got the ball into him. Look at the Sheffield United game in the FA Cup semi-final. He didn't really feature. Why? Because we didn't have anyone getting in the ball.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way of stopping the ball going into the box to Erling Haaland. That's hard to do, because of course it's Kevin De Bruyne, and you've got other players that can do it in the team as well. But in a weird way, you have to be brave against Erling Haaland. You can't focus on him too much, because if you do, the actual issue, which is stopping the ball going to him, that you're going to fall over there. So find a way of stopping the ball going into the box. Stop Kevin De Bruyne. How you do that, I don't know. Maybe you man mark him. You know what I mean? Do you put Xhaka on him for the game? Do you put someone else on him and just say stay on his toes? But you've got to find a way of stopping the ball going to Haaland. Yeah,
I agree with you. But as good as you guys have been, you know what I mean? I do look at, when I'm trying to look for hope, I look at that ball. It was Brentford.
Yeah.
When they came here, which I thought they played brilliantly on the day.
They did.
And what they were that day, which is what I've not seen from a lot of other teams when they've come here, is they were brave. They played their game. They didn't just sit back or sit in like what I saw Sheffield United do, for instance, yesterday, where they just sat in and just tried to defend. What they did is they defended when they needed to defend, but when they got on the attack, they got bodies in the box. And I think Arsenal have got to do that. And when you look at the Arsenal team, who sort of worries you as a Man City fan?
I look at I look at Odegaard, of course, and that's the obvious one. But you know, a player that could worry me here is Martinelli.
Yeah.
I just think Martinelli's he's a player that you don't really know what he's going to do. You can kind of know what Kevin De Bruyne's going to do. You know what Odegaard are going to do. They're going to get the ball, try and get the ball in the box. Yeah. Martinelli, you look at him and I don't think he knows what he's doing sometimes. You know what I mean? He just goes 1 minute, he's going on the outside, next, and he's got quality as well. He's got quality in his delivery. He can score a goal. So he worries me. Jesus, you know, depends on how he plays. Is he going to drop in? Maybe it's just sort of like a false nine, or is he going to go up there towards Diaz and really play on his shoulder? Not sure about that. Saka's a weird one because, of course, I should be worried about Saka, right? But as you've mentioned, he's not really done anything against City this season. So
maybe this is the time.
Maybe this is the time. But yeah,
as I said, no Ake this time.
Yeah, Martinelli for me is the one. I think he's a player that can just turn up, and he's a real special player. I love Martinelli. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, no, he's been on fire this season as well, and been on fire recently. And the funny thing is, despite the fact that defensively we haven't been great over the last few games, the one thing we have been doing is scoring goals. So the goals are still scoring. If we can fix the defensive problems, we might be in with a shout.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to defend very well here. But, you know, I still see that there's hope. And like you said, it's a big game, innit? It's a cup final. Could it be, I know you said that players were rested for Sheffield United, but fatigue can still set in when you're playing a lot of games, isn't it?
And travel as well, Robert.
You've been travelling. Yeah. You played a lot of very high intensity, or the Sheffield United one wasn't, but a lot of high intensity games and games that mean a lot. Yeah. Could that catch up on City
100%.
on Wednesday night?
100%, and I think you could see that a little bit in the Sheffield United game. We were so slow. It was kind of crazy how slow we were, and it's the travel, you know, and I know these players are travelling in the best jets around, you know what I mean, in the best hotels, but yeah, it's travel, right? And ultimately, you know, it can take its toll, especially when you know, you've got the pressure there as well. And I think for City, we've got to start the game quickly. We've got to come out here, you know what I mean, on Wednesday night and start quick, get on top of Arsenal. I think if you come out, start slowly, because Arsenal won't start slowly.
No.
They can't afford to start slowly.
I don't think we can afford to, no.
So they're going to come out and start quick. And if City start like we did against Sheffield United, there could be problems. But you know, you've got to imagine a Wednesday night. You know, it's going to be a packed house. It's going to be loud. It's going to be ready, and you're hoping that the players are going to come out there and deliver. But you are right. The travel. Yeah, but this is what football's about, right? You're in your Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, so you can't really moan about it.
Listen, there's nothing to moan about. It's just the human being. I think, you know, as fans sometimes we forget the human beings, and just the volume of games can catch up on a player. And you know, it may not be at the start of the game, but it could be like later on in the game. A little bit of fatigue sets in, concentration gets lost. You never know. I'm just looking at all this. I'll try to find the little fine margins that might be able to help us out on the night.
But that's what it comes down to, Robert. Yeah. It comes down to fine margins, and you know, there is a chance that City could, you know, blow Arsenal away. We've done that to teams in the Champions League. Leipzig, we put 7. Bayern Munich, we put 3. You know, there is a chance that we could potentially put 3 or 4 goals past Arsenal. But what you think is, you give Arsenal the respect that they deserve. This game is probably going to come down to fine margins. Who's more clinical, a refereeing decision, something like that. You know, and this is why I just love having Ireland in the team, because you just give him a chance and you just know he's going to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, look, listen. Obviously, he's a player that we fear on the day. This is it. This is going to be it. This, like you said, this whole place is going to be buzzing. I'm looking at this stage. Actually, I think they got me on this stage just before the game. You know what I mean? Not too sure what sort of reception I'll get around here. But I'm so looking forward to it. This is what... Listen, as an Arsenal fan, right, I'm embracing this, right? I mean...
This is what you waited for, isn't it?
Yeah, I know people chat about bottling it or whatever. And, you know what I mean? Yeah, we had a little lead. And, you know, that lead's been whittled down. But what I've wanted to see from my team for a very, very long time, as a team that used to be serial winners, is my team back at the top table, challenging for league titles. And this is it. This is what I've always wanted, and this is what we've got. And this game, you know, I know you're hyper confident. I've been, you know, so many City fans have stopped me today and basically more or less said to me, there's no point in coming on Wednesday. You're going to get beat. But you ain't going to believe this. You're going to think I'm just gassing this up. I've got a funny feeling that we're going to come here and do something. I really do.
Well, yeah.
I really do. This is do or die now. We got to come here. We got to put it on the line. You know, we've got to, you know, if we're going to be the champions of this country, we got to come here and take it from you. Mm-hmm. It basically comes down to that. This, my analogy for this is like boxing. You know, when you got that big fight, you know, you're fighting against an American heavyweight. You got to go to Las Vegas or wherever, on his turf.
Yeah.
You know it can't go to points because you probably won't get the decision.
The crowd hate you.
The crowd hate you. You're probably going to have to get a knockout or a stoppage. And that's what we got to come here and do.
That's what you got to come here and do.
And
mate.
I've seen, and I'll say this as well, away from home this season, we've been very good.
Yeah.
We've been on the front foot. We've been at it. We've been about it. I know a bit of the belief has gone because of the last couple of games. But I don't know, I just got this feeling that come Wednesday we're going to surprise a lot of people.
I think City are going to win the game. But as I said right at the start of this video, if Arsenal fans don't believe that they can come here and win, and I understand why they might feel that, you look at the record and that, you know what I mean? And obviously City are in the best form we've been all season. But if you don't believe, what's the point in coming? You know what I mean? You've got to believe you can come here. You know, we did it in our first title. You know, we beat Man United here 1-0 with the Vincent Kompany header.
Yep.
We had to beat the champions. You have to. It's not hard. You know, it's not easy. Sorry.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Even when you lot have done it, it's not always been easy. I think out of all those titles you've won, I can think of one that you did easily, and the rest of even last season.
But winning the league, Robbie, ain't meant to be easy. You know what I mean? This is why it's the best league in the world, because you know there's so many ups and downs, and you get pushed. And you know, if Arsenal win it, fair dues, congratulations. But I just have a feeling that on Wednesday night, normal service will be resumed and Manchester City will get the result that we want. How it comes, don't know. Do I care? Probably not either. It's just about the 3 points, isn't it?
All right, give me your prediction then.
I think Arsenal will score, but I'm going to go 2-1 City. Okay. I just think it's going to be tight. I know City could blow Arsenal away. I know we could put 3 or 4 past you, and I know we could beat you 4-0, but I'm giving Arsenal the respect that they deserve, and that's why I'm going to say 2-1, tight game, and let's cook.
Okay, I think that we're going to come here and we're going to surprise a lot of people. I think it's going to be like a game that I'll be suffering a lot up in that stand, because there'll be loads of hairy moments where we're going to need a bit of luck. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, I just got a feeling that we're going to nick this one, you know. We've had some tough games recently. We had to go to Anfield. We had to weather the storm there, which, you know, in the end we did, even though we didn't get the full win, and I know we were 2-0 up. But I don't think we're going to lose this game. I'm going to go for Arsenal winning by 2 goals to 1.
Okay, if you do lose, are you conceding the title? Are we shaking hands?
No. And the funny thing is, if we win the game, we haven't won the title yet either. Because I still look on it and say there's still a lot of games to go. And there's 2 things. We could lose the game and all of our belief goes, and then you go on to win the title. Mm-hmm. And we could win the game and, you know, maybe miss a couple of, like you said, we've got a couple of difficult games.
Yeah.
But I also believe, in the case of you guys, you've got a lot of games coming up, a lot of big games. You know what I mean? Home and away to Real Madrid in the Champions League.
We've got to go to Everton away as well.
Everton away, Brighton away. You know what I mean? Even with the team that you've got, those are tough games. You know what I mean? There's not, with how it's all shaping up, there's a lot of margin for error. So whoever wins, I don't think it's completely over yet. But obviously, whoever wins, I think the belief they get out of it just gives them the big advantage to then go on. They're the favourite. Whoever wins is then the favourites to go on and get the job done.
And what people need to understand is, City have the games in hand, but you've got to win the matches.
Yeah.
You've got to win the matches.
As we found out.
So you know, it's going to be crazy. May the best team win. I do think City are going to come out on top here. I think your inexperience in the team will show through. You know, you'd have a young team, youngest team in the league, I believe, down there. I think with Southampton. You know, and you just feel that at this vital moment of the season where you need the players to stand up. You know, are they finding it too hard? Are they finding the pressure too much? And look at these players that we've got on display here. So much experience.
Well, if it all goes well, they'll be taking that down.
I don't think we will. I don't think
They'll
we
be
will.
taking that down this
You
year.
see how it says champions again? Add another again there, mate, because we're going to win the league again, man.
Or maybe they'll leave it up and say, last time we were champions, but this time it's our time. It's our time.
It's not your time, but may the best team win. It's going to be a cracker.
It's going to be a cracker, and don't forget you can watch it live on BT Sport 1 on the day. It's going to be an amazing match. Nobody wants to miss this one. So live on BT Sport 1 on the day, Wednesday the 26th of April. Do not miss it. 8 o'clock kickoff. It's Manchester City versus Arsenal. It could be the title decider. Introducing FANZONE. My friend Elliot from Canada.
We are still
Say we
top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Allows any fan, anywhere you are on the planet, to broadcast live into our shows at the push of a button via our website or app.
I'm tired of hearing about the Europa League like it's silverware. So is the League Cup. So is the Dubai Cup. So is the Community Shield.
Ah, Michael, come on, they're not the same level.
No, I mean it.
Cecile. My guy.
FANZONE on AFTV Plus. You can download it on iOS or the Play Store and have your say. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform.